I'm very excited for this one. Um, Playing Tamiyo and then a small energy package of Wrath the Skies, Tune the Narrative, Galvanic Discharge. Tune the Narrative mostly like paying 2 mana preemptively for Wrath the Skies later. Playing also Invert Polarity. I'm just trying 4 copies. 4 copies is a lot, but I've been kind of missing casting the card. Um, have some Harsh Mentors at the sideboard. Anything too crazy? I wanted to play I wanted to play second dress down in the main, but I felt like I needed the subtleties to have extra win conditions if my opponent had Graveyard Hate game one and I couldn't win with Phlage. Like just losing to Graveyard Hate game one completely seemed wrong. Although you could try to steal stuff with Invert Polarity, seemed right to main deck some subtleties, and since Solitude isn't main deckable with this number of white cards. No dress down Null Drifter over Tamiyo. So I thought about dress down Null Drifter, and I think it dress down Null Drifter is not good. Is kind of it. I think Tamiyo is like really exciting in this kind of deck too. On the draw with the Phlage on turn 3. Yeah, Phlage is nice. The life gain with the ring. I'm gonna mulligan this on the draw. Also, just very excited to register Wrath the Skies. How's the matchup with Ruby Storm with that sideboard? Maybe we should have more cards for Ruby Storm. Get a lot of interaction game one, and I kind of feel like we are somewhat well set up game one. Did you find the full list of Blue Affinity with flares? I agree that it helps you against the weaknesses. Why I was trying to put together. It's the deck is missing something. I did find it, but I'll post it if it's like ready for the stream ever. Okay, fun to play against Boros here, and then I think Wrath the Skies is going to be really crazy here. Just gonna get basic planes. No, I should get Fountain so I can hold up Counterspell, then maybe get a tap land next turn. Not sure. So X is 0, and then pay 2 energy to kill your stuff. Wrath looking nice so far. Though we can't win if they am trapped her. We'll hit like Bolt or something. Hit a Guide of Souls. Probably a pretty fun matchup. Acolyte with the 48 months. That's a long time. Happy 4 years. Glad you're liking the stream. They can also jump the Guide of Souls. So down to 5, or sorry, down to 8, and then down to 6 after the fetch. So I think I want to tune the narrative because if I draw a land, I can like keep a spell off this. You know? So looking for land for ring, which is kind of dicey in the spot. Phlage, Wrath of the Skies. Opponent representing Lightning Bolt or Felia. Hopefully they don't have a Bolt. I plan to play the Tommy Thought Castle step earlier. We were just talking about that, but the list is like a little. I was goldfishing some hands and it felt like it was missing something, and I felt that it was like weird to play Tamiyo with a lot of tapped blue lands, so I had no like tapped blue lands, but I was not really liking like the affinity cards were just too hard to cast, so I'm not sure. It's gonna have a lot of energy thanks to Felia. Do some boring ring looping for a little bit. All 4 rings. Okay, not the most ideal to miss our land drop here. I think we're going to put down the dress down. So we have three more Wrath of the Skies to draw into, which will be, 2 mana, kill your board. And then I was only playing 2 bolts in my list. So hopefully they're just still on the Ragavan no bolt build. I think you can stomp off Raptor but I'm not sure. It would be worth calling a judge about. Okay, so they do have a bolt, which is bad news for me. So I'm going to counterspell this and hope to draw exactly Wrath of the Skies. See if I had surveilled first. Okay, missed it. Weird draw. Wrath looked pretty good that game, at least. So spell snares are awesome here. That's on my latest iteration of Boros Energy. I mean, I did the classic metagame for Nadu, lose to 2 Nadu decks in a row, so I need to take some time to chew on it some more. I think the metagame is maybe not Tamiyo and Wrath seem like a combo. Well, if you flip Tamiyo, it's not. Obviously, there's some tension here, but you just have control over when you Wrath. If you flip Tamiyo, then Wrath, it can be kind of nice. I don't think it's that big a deal. So if I bring in Consign to memory, I can counter a lot of the ETBs that they have, which is not super good. I can also scam my Phlage, which is probably really good. I think I'll maybe just try to have the dress down in instead. Just dress down. Link to original list we were playing. If you can go into the Mox field and find all the lists. I'm not sure which one you're referring to though. All right, so we will archive here. Could maybe get Raugrin Triome. Then to avoid aforementioned Nombo, I'm just gonna not cast my Tamiyo here. Can't scam Phlage, only activated. Oh, right, sorry. I keep, for some reason, thinking this card is also a Stifle somehow. Okay, I think we'll probably just Phlage the Guide of Souls now. Although that Ragavan's kind of annoying. So we could discharge as an energy ramp, then Wrath the Skies. I think especially because I have Tamiyo, we'll just wait a bit and just Phlage here. Consign is triggered. Oh, it is triggered. Okay, sorry. I keep getting gaslit. Counter target triggered. Phlage is triggered. You can scam Phlage. Okay. But no, chat just tells me I'm wrong, and I'm so conditioned to just. Oh, you're right. Sorry. So maybe a Felia here. Probably just down to Subtlety the Felia. If they have it. Also the Surveil land we can almost guarantee Phlage next turn. I think I'll just discharge this, which also helped the Wrath of the Skies. So they shock in Sacred Foundry, pretending like they have Felia, which I don't want to. So I don't want to escape Phlage without the ability to discharge. But now I have the ability to discharge, so let's grab a Sacred Foundry. White, white, red, red. Literally Uro. Oblivion, 14 months. Thank you. Welcome back. The Blast Flame Blue Black deck. I feel like if I didn't draw the namesake card, it gets less impressive. Try splashing green for ritual. We haven't played a Sultai build. So like one thing with the Blue Black Nightmare, if you don't draw Nightmare, but if you just have Frog or Satoro, you get to draw a lot of cards, which is kind of my thinking for not playing it. But you could do whatever you want. Okay, don't need to worry too much about this. I think even if my opponent has Bolt for my Phlage, it's just not really problemo here. We lost to Ruby Storm in the challenge. Ruby Storm is pretty dang busted. Alright, Tamiyo time. Don't think I'm supposed to counterspell that because they can just escape the Phlage. I'm going to go ahead and Subtlety here. Could certainly see just Wrath of the Skies next turn, but if I don't draw a land, it's a little bit awkward too. Nightmare and New Recurrent Nightmare seem to work well together for the rest of the shell. I have not played those two specific cards together, but I agree there's some stuff there. They put the Phlage on the bottom, which is kind of surprising because it like kills the Subtlety. Maybe they have another one. Let's play Tamiyo again here. Version of Nightmare Frog deck that leans on Vengevine. I haven't started to work on it. If people are sideboarding the flares, we'll need to play it with the main deck flares. We can maybe build that today. So they did have the second Phlage, and I think what I want to do is probably just let this happen, and then this is another card in my yard for my Phlage, and I can like let them escape again and play into my Wrath. So they're one card in the yard away from escaping the Phlage. Phlage. I'm going to be one card away from escaping as well. So next, I want them to Phlage me, and then I can go, I need one more white source to go Wrath the Skies into my own Phlage, I guess. No, thank you. So now I guess oh, sorry. They just have enough mana to do both. So we draw a white source, we get to do both. That works. So tap 2 mana, kill your amulet, kill your Phlage. White, red. So they're top decking. We got the Phlage advantage. They're 3 cards away from escaping. Cool, good. 36 months. Happy 3 years. Glad you like the stream still. Missed 1 energy. Sorry. Really excited to surveil a Phlage into the yard at some point today. They've top decked something. Boros Charm? Seasoned Pyromancer. 1 card in their hand. They're dead if they have nothing. Now I can beat something. I think they have second Boros Charm. Dude, I could win the coin flip. Oh, okay. Wait, if I win the coin flip, I can't change They can't change the mode though, right? They're gonna Felia. Okay. Well, the problem is I won't get to. They'll just concede. I won't get to actually flip my coin. They're playing 3 Phlage. Teferi seems kind of nice against Phlage. Just bounce it. Love to have a Spell Snare on the draw. Well, that was my. This is what I wished for. Yeah, O2 dropped the challenge. Lost the Living and lost to Ruby Storm. Tough. Magistrate seems good against Ruby Storm. We had Magistrates. Just did not get there. Maybe I should go to 5 in game 2. Just tough. These Boros decks, you just gotta like draw all your sideboard cards. Easier said than done. Looking for land. Not a land. Pass back. Keeps the card on top. Their build definitely not as weak to Spell Snare as mine. Raptor's so bad, dice to Spell Snare. Spell Snare very good against Ruby Storm too. So I'm gonna cast Tamiyo, and then I might end up subtletying Phlage here. So I'm not gonna cast Attune the Narrative. I don't think I need to subtlety the Spyro. I think I'll just be able to clean up. I decided that Amulet isn't optimal at Ruby Storm. I think Wish is better than Amulet. Yeah. That's where I'm at. Wish over Amulet. Maybe I'm supposed to not cast this to the narrative so I can... Yeah, plussing Tommy on this board is actually kind of nice. Where Tommy will just live. And then I can maybe make them play into Wrath of the Skies. I'm going to try to surveil into a blue card to have Subtlety up, though. Nice. Yeah, I guess getting Blood Moon would be tough here. Okay, I don't need to Subtlety this since it's going to probably just play into my Wrath. They find a Bolt, so they'll be able to kill my Tamiyo, but they decide to maybe ignore the Tamiyo. And they dash a Ragavan. Let's go ahead and Subtlety this Ragavan. And they put the Ragavan on the bottom. So they can put my Tamiyo to 1, or they can put me to 6. Oh, they have 2 energy. I have 3, so they can't Guide of Souls. So they are going to send the Tamiyo down to 1. Could be good for me to maybe ring this turn and then set up for a Wrath the following turn, but I will lose Tamiyo if I do that. But I think that's okay. A little bit scared of their Boros Charm tech, I guess. That's what it is. Wrath has been looking so good so far, though. Counterspell, really, really critical pickup here. So we get to go, wow, this is nuts. So we just get to go 2 mana, kill everything. Why didn't we flashback tune if we're going to lose Tamiyo and have ring protection? Tamiyo, they attacked Tamiyo. And I had to plus it to 4. It's minus 3. No! Oh, shoot. Sorry, I meant to spend 1 more energy. I also should have tapped the Sacred Foundry and been able to play Fountain tapped. I'm just playing around the Spyro flashback is all. The ring's pretty good at flipping Tamiyo too. It's tough to read chat sometimes in game. Well, could I do a burn spell? I'm gonna attack, flip Tamiyo. Ooh, Phlage to save the day. Not gonna plus Tamiyo yet, because if they want to use a burn spell on it, they are welcome to. Tamiyo's on 2. Because I wanted to say, yeah. So she comes down with 2 loyalty. It's a -3 to pick up a spell. And I guess, sorry, I should be not excellent counter spells with the save them for Tamiyo. Though can't really lose at this point. Maybe it's a Blood Moon, I guess. Yeah, Uro vibes for sure. Have the invert's been really good? I like invert. I don't. I'm still in the playtest stage. I think there's a good chance 4 is too many. Okay, thankfully that's not a Ragavan. Wrath of Sky is looking very castable. Yeah, kill Saga. Card seems really nice. And so another thing too is like this card is also, I think, probably really good against Nadu combo. And so I'm pretty curious to see like if you just have 4 Wrath of Skies in your deck, are you favored against Nadu? I don't think I'm very likely to want to Wrath the Skies next turn, despite, you know, them being able to attack for 3. Take 3 for a little bit. The Phlage is equal to Uro because they both gain 3 life. Didn't even untap. If only we had Dress Down to counter Nadu turns and turn where it comes to time. We do have Dress Down. There's 1 main, 2 side. Graveyard's a bolt. Is there no room for Mystigate? Mystigate's pretty bad in your Invert Polarity deck. It's not the biggest problem. You could play Mystigate, probably. The mana is a little bit weird. I agree. I think I want to keep the Polarity up for this turn. The next turn start casting Wraths. I'll also probably like just run Subtlety out end of turn if they don't play anything. So this means they have 4 spells in their hand. If they counterspell my Subtlety, I don't think I'm going to Spell Snare. And Flame is it's a good 3 for 1 here, but I think it's probably fine. I forgot. Did I forget to play Emrakul in this list? Emrakul's in this one. Alright, so Wrath the Skies. I guess I could have shocked to hold up Invert Polarity against like Force of Negation or Flare of Denial, but I don't know if I would even fight over Flare of Denial. I kind of want them to just use Counterspell, which it seems Very likely they have. Okay, I will just accept this then. Does have Ward 2, so I guess Phlage isn't like crazy top deck. Would love to steal this Augur of Bolas. Augur's kind of nice for Flare. They reveal their own copy of Invert Polarity here. So I guess I'm gonna still just Wrath the Skies. And I'll invert their invert if they have it. If they have another Flare of Denial, could get kind of dicey. Though it seems that they are just letting this resolve. Yeah, Augur's kind of interesting, especially with like Sink into the Stupor to make your hit count kind of high. It's a wizard for Flame of Anor. It's maybe okay to invert polarity that, but I think with Phlage in my hand, I'm not too scared of it. Where this turn I can go like Phlage, invert their invert with Spell Snare up. Oh, sorry, I thought I had 7 mana. So now do I just try to win the flip? I think we'll Subtlety. Weird to pitch a Spell Snare in this kind of spot. Predictably puts that on top. Now, how lucky am I feeling? I think let's stick to the plan. Do heads. Won the flip, so I should change the target of the invert to the invert, and then still get to resolve my Phlage, stabilize a little bit against the Snapcaster Lightning Bolt deck. No, it works. It works. You just count. It's okay. Winning the flip is not bad here. It's the same. Okay, so there's Snapcaster Mystery card. So a bit awkward if I escape the Phlage. I can't also Galvanic Discharge. So I think I cast the ring so that I don't die to a bolt. Which they could definitely have. Looks like we're going to need to win the flip on the Invert Polarity. That's a Sleep Cursed Fairy. Don't worry about it. Oh, I guess the Sleep Cursed Fairy is still... It's not coming in. Also, if they win the flip against Phlage, we lose anyways. No! Rigged. If you gain control of their counterspell, with your own spell being the only target remaining, aren't you forced to counter it because it's only about target? So you're allowed to change the target of their counterspell to your invert polarity. And that's what we did. And that's how we stopped it. Yeah, but if they stole my Phlage, we were just dead, so I think this was still the right thing to target. I think my opponent's like trying to hit me with the fairy, but they realize they can't without stopping holding up any counter spells. But I think we're gonna lose to this invert polarity. They did it. 7 mana, 3/3 flyer. Who gains their protection from the Stolen Ring? I think they do. Yeah, it's counter target spell, flip a coin to win the game. That's how it feels a lot of the time. My invert polarities are like a lot worse than theirs because I have rings and they don't. It's just kind of funny. Oh, sorry. I also shouldn't have. I need to main phase this instead of instep it. We're going to bring into fairies, and then I don't know about the Force of Negations. They just snap bolt me. Okay. Toasted. So I'm gonna cut the Spell Snare. I'm gonna cut a Wrath of the Skies. Probably just play 2 copies. I'm gonna play the Teferis. I think I'm gonna play Force of Negation also. And trim and invert the polarity. Seems okay. Teferi seems good main deck. I agree. You could main deck Teferi Time Raveler in your control deck in Modern. I am very experienced in this format, and I think you could main deck Teferi. I think you could cut like the 4th invert if you wanted, but I just kind of play more invert polarity and see how it performs. Tamiyo's been good. Been liking Tamiyo. Is Force good if we can't use it on our turn? You get some fights on their turn sometimes, and it's still like there's a lot of like 3 mana counter target spell action. Should trim a Subtlety. I don't know if I agree. Subtlety's kind of nice against their Snapcasters, their Tidebinders if they have them, which there's a good chance they do. And we kind of need the extra win cons if they have Graveyard Hate for Phlage. Well, let's give this one a go. Your new re-release is incredible. Yeah, I think it looks really, really good too. I don't think there's a super wrong way to build it. I think cutting DRC is a big mistake. It's kind of just tough to cut 1 mana cards that you're like never unhappy to draw any number of. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bluff a counterspell here, which is maybe wrong because they don't have that much to tap out for. But I love to bluff a counterspell. Pithing Needle is a very underrated wish grab. So you want to sell me a little bit more on Pithing Needle? What was it? What was it that you were needling? Like hearse? Just good in general, maybe? No, they're just value sleep curse ferrying us. Can I win a flip? Heads gang. No! So unfair. My opponent won their flip. What gives? So, just see what we draw, I guess. This does have ward 2. Listen, if I'm losing a flip, they're losing a flip. See? Dude, their inverts are so good against me, it's kind of wild. I'm kind of tempted to force this. Since my counterspells are not nearly as good, I want to be able to like untap and resolve something, but I kind of need to draw land for either of these to be good against the fairy, because Sleep Curse Fairy is just so dang good. Bummer. Main phase draw 2. Tap Canal. Come on. Land. So I'm gonna actually just cast Teferi first, because if it gets flared, I want to play this untapped. They also made like not counter because they think I can't minus. Reset the fairy back into the Stone Ages. They do have a bolt. Like preordain. 2 on the top, 0 on the bottom, so land drop incoming. Wait, they topped 2 cards and then they didn't hit their land? Weird. I'm gonna play around Spell Pierce. We've seen Spell Pierce already. If they steal and escape Phlage, it should enter normally here. Like they'll get it and they'll be able to untap and attack with it. Did you guys not like Nadu and Tussie? No, Nadu's very good. I think like the all-in combo decks are the best built at the moment, but it's mostly that might just be because the metagame hasn't adjusted. We'll see how the metagame adjusts, but Nadu is very good. So we can graveyard this for Phlage. I think we'll keep. There's a good chance that like Flame of Anor to draw 2 end of turn. Then maybe we'll win a flip. Just like playing poker, dying to win a flip. In this matchup, like I think the invert polarities are clunky enough that you just kind of target the first thing that might be good to steal. I don't think I'll pay. They're not going to double Spell Pierce me, are they? Deal. So I'm going to Galvanic Discharge so they can't Flare of Denial my ring. Looks like Augur Bolas is still looking at the bottom 3 cards of your library. Augur's pretty cool tech. I like the Augurs. Did I have Augur in my YouTube video talking about Flare, and I think I just totally forgot about it. But I think it was in my YouTube video too. It's like extra archaeologist kind of. So I can cast Tamiyo and flip Tamiyo with the ring, maybe? Opponent bolts me. I think with Phlage, I don't need to be too worried about this. Not that I necessarily am escaping Phlage this turn. I think it's still okay. I only have 2 cards after this, too. Everybody loves a 1-mana Planeswalker. So it looks like I can escape a Phlage with Counterspell up. So let's do that. Gotta fetch first. Red, white, red, white. Could you tell me it'd be more of a sideboard card since it's only creature we can remove main? Oh, not really. I would not sideboard it. Just main deck it. You need sideboard cards to be more impactful. And it does die to creature removal, but you also have subtleties, you also have Phlages. It's like it's not. I don't think it's true that creature removal is, just turned off. Okay, polarity's just cracked, I guess. Yeah, Harshminter's for the naughty decks. Playing in the Creator Showdown tomorrow. The one tomorrow is Pauper, right? I think I'm playing in the modern one the week after. We lost to Living in the challenge. We lost to Ruby Storm. Tough couple matches. I'm gonna get a basic island. Change my mind. Man, it's just a little too tough, probably. Kind of scared of Blood Moon. Boarded in Lantern? It's okay for me, I guess. Kind of interesting. Yeah, I would bring on Harsh Mentors against Yogg, I think. Maybe against Affinity. Love to keep hitting some land drops here. Could have played around Tidebinder a bit better, I guess. Trying to find lands. Snapping off Invert on a Flame of Anor to draw 2. Snapping it off on Augur of Bolas. So I guess they have Moon in their, or the Harbinger of the Moon in their deck. Because they have Mountain. Snapping it off. Very funny, but we gotta start using our mana. And if we win the flip, it's like just nice 2-for-1. I'm even just happy to make sure I get a 1-for-1 this turn. Ed's game. Okay, it should have been Tails. People always go, Tails never fails. Those people are liars, though. Starting to cast something in my instep here. Just gonna get my Raugrin Triome, I think. They're really thinking about drawing 2 on their turn here. They're missing their land drop. I'm missing my land drop. Let's both miss our land drops. I'll start jamming Teferi's next turn, I guess. Could just run out the Subtlety. I think being able to Subtlety a Moon or a Snapcaster is still pretty nice in this kind of spot. Could just run up Phlage, too. I like that the Phlage is just like makes their Invert Polarity not do anything, and we just make them sack the Lantern now, which is also kind of nice. Guess we'll just put that on the bottom and then discharge. I think I should Subtlety this. Try to draw a land. They put it on top, which is, I think, good news for me, since they'll just run it into my Invert next turn. Might as well tune the narrative to try to hit, like, if we draw a tap land, I could play a tap land. Could hit runner lands, too. Pew Pew, 31 months, thank you, welcome back. Might have been good for them to sack their Lantern in that spot. Opponent seems like a snap bolt end of turn gamer. I already have 2 like big things to tap out for. I think I'm gonna Graveyard the Ring in this spot. I was also thinking if I drew another ring, it would be kind of a disaster if I just had 2 in a row. Could have been right to slam the Teferi. The thing is, my opponent's like maybe about to have to go to discard. Like they're just 1 card away. At this point, I'm definitely not jamming anything on this turn, because I just want them to like either like sack the Lantern or like have to cast something or have to go to discard. I don't know if they're gonna fight over this. If they counterspell, I'm not gonna use the card counterspell. Yeah. Just let them have the 2/1. And then I'll probably just like lead on Phlage with counterspell up next turn. Down to 11. They got 6 cards in their hand. Must be nice. I have 1 more land than them, though. So I guess we will start off and cast a Phlage. If they have another Subtlety, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but we'll figure it out if they just put it on the stack. I think I should still start with this. So I think this is fine. Obviously, if they win the flip, it's not super ideal. They won the flip again. Not super ideal, but it does get sacked. So let's run into your Spell Pierce, I guess. So I'm gonna have to pop the Lantern. I'm dead to 2 Lightning Bolts also, that's what it is. Seems like this matchup's not very good. Watch the 7th, they go back. They're just like a little bit lower, more instant speed. They found their 4th lands, or 5th land. Snapcaster Lightning Bolts. We're super dead. Should have won the flip. Ring is going to be pretty painful. Does kind of feel like a good spot to maybe try to resolve it, since I mean, I could go Teferi, bounce Snapcaster, counter it on the way down, discharge the other one, but I probably have to counter to protect this one. Then they're maybe just going for Preordain, but then they can dig for Bolt. Okay, so we get 6 cards with this ring before we have to find a Phlage or a ring. I guess I can bounce it with my Teferi too. We also have to continue to dodge lightning bolts. Unlikely to crack this fetch anytime soon. Sorry, I need to be able to discharge a Merfolk Island thing. Down to 2. They found the bolts. Not much to do about that, I guess. Besides, try to find a counterspell. Tough. Okay, on the draw against the Giganta deck, let's go and give this one a keep. We're going to mold a 6. Tap Arid Triome. That's interesting. Is he Gendrix deck 7 opponents? Yeah, looks pretty cool. What? 4/4 flyer. Not good enough to win die roll again, I guess. Die roll diff. Wrath of Sky is not very good against Sign of Draco either. Probably pretty good against the rest of their deck. I think I'm going to counterspell this. It's pretty bad if I don't get to counterspell something this turn. And I'm like pretty okay if this trades for stub, it ends up being really good because that might help me resolve the ring. Wish with the 41 months, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, the Riptide in that deck I thought was pretty funny, but probably not that good. 3 cards left in our opponent's hand. Graveyard. So we'll see if my opponent has second stub. And I'll really, really regret losing the die roll. Excuse me? Kinda love it. Wait, I'm confused. Why didn't the cards go to the graveyard? Shouldn't a bunch of cards have gone to the graveyard here? They already cast this bolt in the stub. Is that a bug? They have 5 domain. What am I missing? Getting there for the Wrath of the Skies, huh? What does the log say? Yeah, maybe they like misclicked or something. Guess we just ring again. And then I'm gonna try to discharge one of the scions right now. So I have to go to discard. I can maybe just play and escape a Phlage next turn. Yeah, I think I'm trying to find the log. Okay, totally okay with this. Although kind of weird timing on on the binding, letting me draw the card. Oh, I can also just discard Phlage. Have Invert Polarity up with it next turn. Yeah, but even if they messed up, like it may just be like really bugged, right? I'm trying to leave potentially stuff to get back with Tamiyo. I don't think Amulet is necessary. It's also just bad with Wrath of the Skies is kind of the problem. Like you destroy it with your own Wrath. And I think you should just kind of play the ring instead in this deck. How big can I Wrath of the Skies next turn? I'm a little bit scared to fetch Shock and then Invert Polarity and then just die to a burn spell. Winning the flip would be nice, yeah. We mistap? No, we we have to just spend 2 red on Phlage and have 2 other red to play. Love to draw a creature for me to subtlety or Kavu. Oh, dude. Alright, coin flip time. Unfortunately, if I steal it, I only have a 3 domain, right? So we won the flip. I'm gonna target the Scion, see if it works, because I don't really care about their life total. But I think it counts my domain, so it doesn't work. Cancel again. So I can subtlety as a blocker. Let me tune the narrative. So if I want to do x equals 6, I need to spend 5 mana on this. Then I wouldn't get protection from everything. So I think I'm going to cast Stress Down and evoke a Subtlety. Or I could cast Stress Down and now I could Wrath the Skies and evoke Subtlety, and I would have a Phlage in play. Oh, but I would need to Subtlety first. It's so weird. So I think I keep the other Subtlety just in case I need to like tap the ring to draw, because I'm gonna get to gain the life, right? Oh, dude, I'm just killing my own. Sorry, I'm just killing my own Subtlety. It's kind of fine actually, because okay, it's actually kind of fine because now I get to kill the Scion next turn though. My sequencing though could have been better. Maybe they'll play something into the Wrath and they'll feel a bit better. We need to dress down after we Wrath to put Subtlety in. Yeah, it seems like the truth. Okay, love that they cast this Tarmogoyf. Okay, so can I Wrath X equals 12? So this is 6. I have exactly enough. Do I not have enough? This is 8 mana. I'd like to pay 12, please, and then die to Tribal Flames. We did it, baby. X equals 12 on Wrath of the Skies. Perfectly calculated. We don't have pro everything though. PT with 20 gifted subs. Thank you, PT. We're breaking the Wrath of the Skies record. You gotta give some PT. Make sure to thank them. That was awesome. So let's not lose to the last card being Bolt. That's very unlikely to be. Do we have a win con? Yes. I am escaping my win con from the graveyard right here. We lost to blue-red wizards with Invert Polarity. It seemed tough because their deck plays like mostly at instant speed with like Snapcaster, Flame of Anor, and their curve is lower. Phlage was a nice tool though. Sorry, I didn't see them play their land to play the last card, but should be okay no matter what. Yeah, they also won their flips. And we lost our flips a lot. Thank you, PT. Yeah, Boros Uro. Okay, I usually like Teferi against Domain Zoo. Consign to Memory is good against Leyline Binding. That's kind of it. Dress Down's good against Kavu. Can also like Fog Tarmogoyf, which they're playing, it seems. I think I'm going to cut the Tamiyos. Trim a Polarity for mana curve considerations, and click Submit. Opponent keeps 7. We're going to keep our 7 too. Not going to Subtlety anything turn 1. Isn't Snare bad against the Tarmogoyf Territorial Kavu Tribal Flames deck? No. The Showa Brawler 2 probably also. It does miss Scion. But I'm keeping it then. Why Consign over Vetoes? Eldrazi. Eldrazi, very scary. You can also scam your Phlage. It's a one man against Living. Consign is just really good. Oh, Entomb of Phlage. A little less good already having another one in hand, I guess, but take it. Were they shocked? They might have Death Shadow in their deck because they're also playing Shadow Prophecy. Ooh, Consign hits. Yeah, maybe Consign hitting Scion and Leyline Binding is nice. Forgot for some reason that does that. So let's try to catch them in response to a fetch here, so I can save more energy for my next discharge. Which they play around, but that's okay. We'll just upkeep this. Got 2? I have 2 discharges. Would be only fair if you have 2 stubs. Shawnee with the 27, thank you so much. Yeah, seems only fair. And they get to exile my Phlage, which is a bummer. Yeah, Consign stops the Cascade trigger. Oh, they don't exile my Phlage. Okay. Deal. I love that. Even if they have a binding, it's just wrong, right? Should we have cast second discharge in response to crack fetch? No, because then they just there's a really good chance that they're cracking the fetch just to make me spend more energy off the Kavu. Like they're just gonna get like full domain and they're gonna make me spend all my energy. There's a very good chance that's why they're cracking the fetch, not just to get the stub. I mean, I'm blocking. Deal. Alright, well, I'm going to cast the ring. Probably would have done a lot worse in this match if their Shadow Prophecy wasn't bugged and my opponent didn't punt with the Kavu. Is what it is. Hoping to win a flip next turn. Probably seems safe enough to just play Teferi here. Guess I could play my land first to play around Dispute plus Stub. I have to discard to hand size so I can escape Phlage next turn by discarding discarding a land and fetching next turn. What's the bug? I don't know. So I don't know exactly what happened, but my opponent cast Shadow Prophecy and no cards went to the graveyard, and seemingly no cards went to their hand either. I think I'm not going to draw 4 cards here. My mountain is in exile somehow. It's okay. Just get island. So I'm taking 4 damage down to 8 next turn. Should be fine. I'm dead to the Phlage attack next turn. Mr. Loser, thank you for the 3 months. Thank you for being a winner, for subscribing to twitch.tv/SpiringSpike. So I'm going into 8. So if I invert polarity this, I do lose to their hands being flame plus bolt. So seems like I should probably not take a line where it's possible for me to lose, because it doesn't seem very likely I'm going to be able to lose the game. Can probably figure out a way to Phlage them twice next turn anyways. You know what? Let's try to steal a Tarmogoyf as a treat. As a treat. Well, we've been losing a lot with heads, so we're going to keep headsing. There we go. Thank you. I'll take that. Freeze a potato with the 3 years. Thank you so much. So I can legend rule my Teferis for another type in the yard. Bounce the binding. Wage my opponent down to... I guess I was gonna legend rule ring so that the Goyf was lethal by itself, but I guess the Phlage escape also works. It resolved as a 4/5 when I only had 3 types in your own yard. Yeah, but it counts both yards, right? What am I missing? Playing against Mill, I do have the Emrakul in the sideboard. Might be tough to win if they surgical the Phlages, though. Even with the Emrakul. So I guess what I should probably try to do is try to dress down and then cast Phlage as a creature that isn't going to get got by Drown. No, it's not Crabvine. Rune Crab can't target yourself, so if it is Crabvine, their deck is like severely misbuilt. Why is Mill so popular? I don't know. You tell me. Okay, looks like we're lucky enough to still have plenty of fetchables. We're going to do the dress down trick. Mill seems good against Nadu. Maybe. I think I would. Maybe it's good against Ruby Storm too. You have to draw your surgical. I don't know, but even if you draw the surgicals, what two drops? What specific two drops are important enough for main deck there? Uh, Nadu plays a lot of two drops, but also Rao, Ruby Medallion, Counterspells. It's a pretty copy. Orcish Bowmaster is pretty popular at the moment. There's a lot of Nightmare decks running around. Spell Snare, I think Spell Snare is just pretty good against most decks that aren't Living End. Not great against Titan, I guess, but just like a ton of two drops in the format. And very good against Ruby Storm. Welcome, Alex. I'm very gentle, never yelled at anybody in my entire life. Okay, so I guess we're hoping to draw a land to escape Phlage. Nice. Hope to still. It looks like I still have my red fetchables. With a gifted sub, let's go. Good job, PT. Showing some love. I'm actually gonna exile my counterspell these so they can't surgical it. As Rhinos just stopped existing. I don't know, it's still week 1. But Rhinos, I guess, kind of had already stopped existing, so. So, yes, also. 5 cards in their hand. Phlage kills pretty fast. Yeah, Nantuko's in Titan now. Yeah, Nantuko's a really important part of the Nadu combo deck, too. Do I do analysis on what this deck is, what its niche is, what it's good bad against? I did that at the beginning of the league, so you can go back and rewind. I do that usually when I play a deck for the first time. But it's also not that complicated. It's a Jeskai control deck. What's my favorite deck to play so far in MH3? The blue-black Nightmare deck's been really fun. Ruby Storm has been really fun. Probably one of those two. Love for them to have Drown in the Lock here. You know. Love them to have 2 Drown in the Locks. Poor Watchwolf. Permanently ensnared. Is Dress Down really good in the meta? I think it's good against the Nadu deck. If you can go Dress Down into Wrath, you're going to win. It's good with Phlage, too. I think Dress Down's good, yeah. Yeah, the Eldrazi, the Null Blast is good against Nadu, too. Okay, this card is more or less blank, because I can just kill with Phlage and hit them for 6. Phlage hates crabs, it seems. So I guess I'm suspecting that my opponent is trying to get Revolt and Fatal Push the Phlage. I think it makes more sense to play around Surgical than it does Spell Pierce. Or sorry, Spell Pierce doesn't even work, so definitely makes more sense to cast Counterspell than Second Phlage. And then Second Phlage only also makes sense. I was getting a little behind, but I was thinking you would want to play, just hit them with Phlage and then play it back if you were trying to play around a Counterspell there. But obviously that doesn't even make any sense because we didn't target that. I'm going to bring in these Harsh Mentors, actually, so that way I just have more win conditions if they have the Surgicals, and at least triggers off of their fetches in Field of Ruins and Minamo. And then I think I'm just going to cut all the Galvanic Discharges and just try to clean up their creatures with Wrath and Phlage. And then let's bring in this Emrakul. Maybe Ashiok is a better win con. I really don't like the ring in this matchup. Alright, let's try this, I think. Maybe a little light on card advantage with only Tamiyo. Card advantage just doesn't really matter. Is Wrath even good? I mean, 2 mana kill all your opponent's crabs is good enough, I think. Tamiyo does not sound too good in this matchup. I think she's just like 1 mana instead of 4, so I think I'd just rather be in on Tamiyo than Ring, and I think we have to play one of these cards. Yeah, the Ashioks are for Titan, just like they almost always are. Updated blue-red Wizard. Yeah, Wizards with Tamiyo sounds very fun. Playing against a build like that earlier. I don't think I would play the Siren, whatever. Although we played that a long match. I don't think we saw our opponent cast a single. Oh, do we do third Tamiyo? We're only playing 3. You'll play a lot of flares. No flares in this deck. Mostly playing flares in fair Nadu decks, which has been pretty reasonable. I also have like an affinity deck that is able to play flare that I'm still working on. It's also playing Tamiyo. Playing Siren Storm Tamer as a 1-drop that sacks to flare that puts an artifact into play, which is kind of good too. Gonna kill my Tamiyo. Well, I just have another Tamiyo. It could be good to hold up Counterspell and not like get my Emrakul exiled to Atasha's. I kind of hate how telegraphed Counterspell is in these kind of spots, though, so I think I'm just going to get another Tamiyo back online. But maybe you should play Spell Starter Sprite if you're going to play with Blue Flare. It'd be fun. If you're going to play Sleep Cursed Fairy. Think of the Ugin Synthesizer Affinity build. I mean, I've been playing a few different Affinity builds, and the Affinity is still Affinity. It is a deck that has some very powerful draws that are super fun and super nostalgic for like modern players, I think. But Affinity is still also just a deck that is very, very bad against. Ooh, that's pretty. Opponent always knows to bring an Emrakul or Lantern against me. But it's a deck that can be really bad against sweepers, and can also just get raced really hard, and is also just not that consistent. And so I had a colorless build that I thought was really fun and really powerful. We just like every opponent has like Meltdown and Force of Vigor, it seemed. There's a Phlage. Do you think a similar build could be good without the wrong ring? You could play Unstable Amulet over Ring. I think Ring is better in this deck, though. Yeah, not a lot of point in attacking and making a clue only for it to die to Wrath of the Skies. Snapcaster Jeskai Inject seems great with Tune and Discharge. I don't think there's really room. I also think, unfortunately, this is, a really sad thing to say, but I don't think Snapcaster is like really ever great outside of a deck that's playing Flame of Venor. So if you play Flame of Venor, your Snapcaster goes from being mediocre into being a playable card. That's great, and I love when Snapcaster is a playable card, but I don't think Snapcaster is playable unless you have Flame of Venor in your deck. The Mardu scam Phlage Dingo Trophy with. It was really weird, but I liked it, I think. Let's see. If Wrath of Skies are planning to remove the crabs, maybe Ring is better card advantage option. Oh, in this matchup? I don't know. Ring just sucks against Mill, I think, but I'm not sure. Maybe. You have to flip the Tamiyo. Imagine someone 5-6 years, the same snap was unplayable. Dual Snapcaster is playable again. With Blue Flare and Flame of Venor, the card has gotten a lot better. That's also something I'd like to pair with Snapcaster is the Blue Flare. Think you can import Boros deck to MTGA? I mean, I think so. I haven't really been thinking about Timeless very much lately, but getting Lura seems like enough of a reason to play that deck outside of Modern. Maybe we can surveil Phlage into the yard. I'll take a Harshman Tour. That's a win con, baby. So you can't flashback flare and then sack the flare that you target with flashback. But you can, flashback something else and then sack it from your hand. Main deck, not companion lures. I don't know what I said that thought that made you think I might have meant not companioning Lurrus, but companion Lurrus. Don't play the 3-drops. Whatever I said that made you think that I might have meant to not companion, I apologize. Maybe I'm supposed to not let that go. Let me just have another win condition here. It's so funny, like, I can ultimate this Tamiyo, but I don't know that it's even right. Ditching Phlage is not ideal. Ditching Phlage is ideal if it lets you play Lurrus. How many creatures are needed for Flare? I think not that many, because it's like just pretty hard castable, but I think you want to have like minimum 8. Ideally like 12. I think with the inability to we can discard Emrakul, we'll just discard we can't discard the hand size. Right. I do really want to ultimate this Tamiyo though. Also thought I had one more basic, but they all got exiled, it seems. Let's just pick up the Counterspell. Play my hilarious Harsh Mentor. Can't escape Phlage now? Right. Now we can draw 10. Okay, and burn over Helix. I think the first Phlage is like almost definitely good in burn, and I think I don't know if the second one is correct or not, but I feel like I would always play the first one. I would maybe sideboard others in different metagames. Guess I had plus here. It's kind of nice to just like buy, have them a spot where they have to play everything main phase. They can just counterspell their thing, buy back the counterspell with Tamiyo. So the problem with drawing 10 and discarding Emrakul to hand size is Tamiyo gives you no maximum hand size. Sure. So I think I'm probably just going to not do anything that will I'm not gonna play Tamiyo because I want to be able to discard Emrakul to hand size potentially. This is since the cycles, it should be fine to play the only one counterspell up here. Bouncing a Boro does turn on Revolt, yeah. Surgical Tamiyo resolves. Would you play Ring or Flame in this kind of Jeskai control? You could look at the list. I'm playing Ring, not Flame. We're too low on Wizards. You could do Flame instead. I think Wrath of the Skies is great, and Wrath of the Skies like probably the main reason to play this. Phlage is good too. I think the Ring is just like the highest card quality that also just works really well with Phlage. And I haven't felt like I would really want to play Flame of Anor instead, but maybe Flame is good because it kills Nadu, and like you can if you killed Nadu, draw 2 cards with Flame. It's kind of a good way to like keep up. Seems tough. I'm leading on the Fountain untapped. Good ones on Mola 6. I don't like MH3. Any opinions on the fun stuff yet? MH3 is good, and things have been fun. I think Ruby Storm has been like one of the big breakout decks. Nadu combo is like kind of the other breakout deck at the moment, it seems. Phlage is very good. The Black Sacrifice deck seemed to be good. I think the Emrakul Eldrazi deck we played it's been really good. We 4-1'd our only league with it yesterday, and we lost to Hayashi on Field of Ruin, Ghost Quarter, Crucible of Worlds, Assassin's Trophy. But I think that the Emrakul deck has been the best Eldrazi deck I've played, but there's a lot of aggro builds I haven't played yet. Kidding, dude. I'm just never taking the Emrakul out of the sideboard. Although some of the decks I'm playing today don't have it, I guess. I just it feels like I'm being stream sniped almost. Like I watch other people play, and maybe I'm just in the mill time slot, but I watch other people play, and they just don't play against mill to this degree. You know what I mean? Like they just don't play against this many mill players. Love for them to play a third crab into my wrath here. I did kind of ask for it, if I'm gonna be honest. Can't really complain. Beat them last round. Yeah, a lot of people have played Nantuko and Titan. I think the first copy of Nantuko is probably just something you want for the ability to infinite combo, and you have some fun lines with it. And it's a good summoners pack target. I don't think I would probably play more than the one, but I'm also not a Titan main. They've got 2 cards left in their hand. I've got a Phlage in the yard. We won game 1 last time we played this matchup, just because they milled over Phlage and I was able to escape it. I still have a basic mountain, a Sacred Foundry, 2 blue-red surveil lands to find the extra red source. Basic planes, not enough. I guess I should slam the ring here. It's better if they have Tasha's, but it's kind of important, I think, that I find that red source. Well, the Japanese Moto time slot, early morning is Europe, and night is Japan. Happens more than you think. Yeah, I'm definitely in the mill time slot, it seems. I'm playing a Jace. Is Jace, yeah, Jace seems to be target player, although they can just plus and then. But if they plus, I can Phlage and hit their Jace. I don't like Ragavan, then I played against Millburn and Titan. I think Ragavan is the thing is it's also like Ragavan can be good against these decks, but also if Titan has their Arboreal Grazer, it does nothing. If they have Ruin Crab instead of Hedron Crab, it can be bad, but that is true. But also, like, my experience playing with Ragavan has been pretty bad when I have Ragavan in my deck. When I don't have Ragavan in my deck, I have not been playing. Maybe this is when the decks that are weak to Ragavan come out, maybe. I know Peacekeeper is outdated. It stops Nadu, and Feli has cool synergy with it. I like Anointed Peacekeeper. I don't even know if I would agree that it's outdated as much as, like, historically underplayed. Not holding red open. How would you like me to escape Phlage and hold up red mana here? Alright, so I have 18 cards in my graveyard. We might boost the Shelldock Isle here. Oh, they're playing Ring in their deck. Huh. So I'm down to 15 cards. I can attack with Phlage, kill Crab, and kill Jace. My opponent goes to 15. Attack them with Phlage, put them down to 6. Kill them the following turn. They got 1 card. And they're going to Surgical. Oh, no, they just milled me with the Jace. Again, that makes sense, yeah. So is there really any reason to not tap the ring? Not really, because I'm just dead to 1 mill spell. I just want to try to make sure that those won't resolve. So let's fetch on our turn and see if we can have another untapped blue source in the deck. I think there is not one more. So I should have checked. I should have checked and then played this if there wasn't. I think there's another Steam vent still in, actually. I'm pretty sure I settled on 2 Steam vents at the main. A lot of fetchables. Oh, I was wrong. Do you have another blue source at least? Probably just attack face and use Discharge of Wrath. Well, my opponent has protection from everything, so I'm just gonna kill the crab. Discard these 3. So let me see Belcher. I answered the first time, but I haven't gotten around to trying to build it. I think there's a chance Oops All Spells will be better than Belcher. But, you know, to some extent, like, when they printed Beseiju, Belcher players got really scared, and they left the format, and there's also, like, White Orchid Phantom, which is probably pretty scary for Belcher players. But I think that the degree of fear Belcher players have is maybe a little unfounded. But they've definitely retreated due to Beseiju mostly. It's been my experience. So put my opponent down to 6 life points. I thought about running the Subtlety out end of turn. It was like so bad if they had a Drown in the lock or push. Also, Ruby Medallion is maybe a big deal for Belcher too. Yeah, Invert Polarity is pretty playable. They're countering my Phlage trigger. So I guess I'm not Spell Snaring this, but... Why is this in the main deck? Someone in the mill Discord cooked, it seems. Yeah, it doesn't impact the clock. Very surprised they're doing this before tapping their ring. Who is letting the mill players cook? How did mill Discord? What is going on that we have ended up on main deck Harbinger of the Tides and Defabricate and Ring? Who? We might need to have an intervention. Is Static Prison more of a tempo card than a control card? I thought about playing Static Prison. Without using buzzwords like that, I think yes, it is kind of cool that you can like sack your Static Prison and then Wrath of the Skies, and at the same turn. Yeah, this is game 1. Not to anger the mill players. So I guess seeing Harbinger, I want to keep it the discharges, and then still want to bring these in for the extra win cons, and then let's play like 1 discharge, 2 Wrath of the Sky, 61 cards. Would I play Prison over Pending? I don't know. I at the moment I think I'd rather just play Pending. I'm a little bit worried about Prison in this deck without like the extra energy generation. I don't think I would never play Prison, but I don't think I love it in this deck. I just don't love that it kind of needs you to have like a lot else going on. Tend to like my answers to just be answers. On the draw. Keep, I guess. Is Solitude, Pending, Binding not playable with Phlage? They're playable. We don't have enough white cards for Solitude, but if you have these white cards you're suggesting, you can get the job done. I think you really, really want to play Fortune the Narrative with Wrath the Skies, just so like, because this is like, this is the card that lets your Wrath the Skies be 2 mana, kill everything, and then this like can put you in a spot where you kill everything for 2 mana, hold up Counterspell, play Teferi sometimes if you play Teferi in your main deck, and 2 mana kill everything, and like at instant speed with Teferi. I think this is really important. So if you're doing that and you're playing Jeskai, you should have Galvanic Discharge. And I think with Discharge and Wrath the Skies and Spell Snare I think is really good. You don't need that many more 1 mana interactive spells, and you also have Tamiyo, which can like block a Ragavan if you're scared of Ragavan. And you could definitely play Leyline Binding. That card is super good still, of course, but it is also the case that the mana is a little bit worse. I think with the you needing to go in on domain rather than having just mana fixers, and doing it this way lets you play a lot of surveil lands, and the surveil lands are very good with Phlage, which is awesome. Um, we're getting stifled here. Okay, your turn. Um, and so the surveil lands are very good with Phlage, and your mana that requires blue blue red, red red white white, blue blue, white white off Wrath. It feels pretty functional, especially because like you get to play Jeskai Triome instead of like as an actual fixer. I don't know. But you can play Leyline Binding. You just accept that your mana is going to be kind of wonky. Let's let this resolve. I have Emrakul in my deck. Wait, I'll draw it for turn. Guess I could discard it. Don't check for what fetchables you have left. Just believe. Okay, got most of them. Funny enough. I think your mic switched to my earbuds. I don't think that's possible. My earbuds are not plugged into my. I did drop the mic, which might be causing it. Yeah, Harshpinter is mostly for Nadu. I'm just boarding into Ingot Mill, so I have extra threats. But one thing that says a lot about the state of like sideboarding to beat Nadu, because it seems like the deck is very fast and very good at playing through the main deck interaction. If you're not playing Flare of Denial in your deck, like this is one of the best cards of the format. If you're playing Jeskai Flame, not being hit by Pick Your Poison, yeah, not losing. You know, Leyline Binding does have some big downsides for sure. Wait, this doesn't stop Planeswalkers either. So they have a Jace. They're not spending max mana for it. No Subtlety. I think I'm pitching Teferi. If they have a Counterspell, it's okay. They're acting like they have a 1 mana spell though, because they pay 2 life. I think Harshpinter ain't it. I mean, is there a better card I could have in my sideboard against Nadu? You know what I mean? I don't think there is, but I know it's very funny we have this sitting against Mill, but this is why playing against Mill is so. I don't know what word I want to use, but we're playing against Mill. Things get weird. Opponent, please. You have 1 mana up. They're tapping a blue. Mill Discord. Stop cooking. Literally just upgrading my 2/2 into a 3/3. Stop cooking. My Jace. Oh dang. Really felt like I was gonna steal it. That's what took him so long. That's what took him so long to decide. Why is it every time I doubt this is who I get as my champion? I mean, I don't know. The Mill Discord is conspiring against me. We have to stay strong. Scared of Tasha's kind of. Don't think I'm holding up Subtlety. Just gonna get a Phlage in the yard. Like, my opponent's main decking Defabricate. So weird. Opponent, draw your card. Come on. No way that I could I could have stuff, opponent. Oh, I have to have my islands though. Your turn. Yeah, that seems bad. Yeah, I agree. Still got an Emrakul in my deck. Certainly in the business of just casting Subtlety against the first thing here. Mana's upward. Yeah, mana's not going to be perfect with our cast requirements. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to get a lot better. But it also hasn't felt super bad. We're up against Mill. Like, mana's going to be a little weird against Mill, too. With all their fields and milling your fetchables. Watch Mingu play Invert Polarity Murktide card look good. We want all 5 flips. Yeah, I mean, the card is kind of like counter target spell, flip a coin. If you win the flip, win the game. Not exactly that good, but if you think of it like that, you'll understand why we like the card. Emrakul. Okay, so 4-1 that league, defeating Mill twice. I think Jeskai looked awesome. Do I have another Jeskai control league in me? Maybe I do. I also want to play updated Ruby Storm with Wishes.